Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Utah International Film Festival. We are on day 4, and we are meeting and interviewing some incredible filmmakers. I'm Jenica Anasuya, and I'm really happy to be with you today. So today with me is Victor Orel. He has created the film Lost. And Victor, you're from Las Vegas. You live in Las Vegas. So he came up from Las Vegas last night to be with us. So grateful to have you here with us.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so
Likewise.
Today, thank you.
Great pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So we are going to be speaking about Victor's film Lost today. Victor, I'd love to know what gave you the idea for Lost? What gave you the idea for the film?
First thing which I wanted to say that I don't know, maybe I am a good writer, but I'm not a good speaker. So I wrote down my thoughts on the paper to make sure that it sounds in a nice way.
And we also, I just want to point this out, we love everything about who you are, including your culture, your language background, everything you bring to the table. So whatever makes you feel most comfortable.
I came to the United States 35 years ago. Came from USSR, which is Ukrainian territory. It's a city of Odessa. And that's about it. I graduated from Odessa State University. Due to that fact, I am able to speak, read, and write in English because my major was philology, English language and literature.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's great. What got you into filmmaking after that?
Oh, this is an interesting story. I have a friend. His name is Joe Liuzzi. He has been my friend for like 10 years by the time he told me what he is and who he is. And I was going back to the Ukraine. I was invited to run a TV show.
Wow.
Yeah, I had my own political analytical TV show back in Odessa. And we got together, you know, he's Italian by origin, and we were having poquito vino, same bidding goodbye to each other. And I was at that time, I already published my first book here in the United States.
Wow, okay.
It's basically, it's a documentary book, which called America As Is. And he said that he is into writing too, and he said that he's actually a filmmaker.
Wow.
He asked me whether I write anything, you know, like novels and stuff. And I gave him one chapter to read. It's the beginning of my novel, which I never finished, which was called Fog. And he read a few pages and he said, "Victor, I think you've got a knack for it." I said, "How do you know?" He says, "Listen, I've worked for Hollywood for 10 years. He has about 27 credits on IMDb.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was location manager shooting Terminator 1.
Oh, wow.
So he was the first one who gave me a push in that direction. He says, "I think you've got a knack for it. All you have to learn..."
And you were already writing, doing documentary films, doing things in Ukraine.
Basically, before that, I was a journalist for 33 years, accredited international journalist.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are a man of prestige and many talents. Many talents.
It's, yeah, of many talents maybe, but not of a prestige.
I feel like you are. You're
because
an accredited journalist.
What happens to journalists, you know, you say a wrong word.
Yes, that's so true.
And you immediately become a bad guy.
I know,
it's
a very fine line that you walk as a journalist.
So, well, that's about it. Now about the movie.
Yeah, I'd love to know more about the movie.
You see, the idea of this story is rooted in experiences and situations from my own life. In other words, it began as an introspective analysis of my own behavior, of my past mistakes. I often wondered how my life might have unfolded if I had made different choices in the same circumstances. I would say that, you know, with age, you become more wise, more experienced, but at the same time, you get more guilt. What did I do wrong back there in the past?
You live with some regret or some questioning. Yeah, sure.
So, what are the things I haven't completed?
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, through this reflection on past decisions, missteps, grievances, regrets, an abstract hero started to appear inside of me. And this hero, he is not a particular person. He is a combination of different people. My father, who was very stubborn, and that's the beginning of the script. That's what my main hero is. My mother, my sister. So basically, it's kind of like a collective character mixed together like with Play-Doh and shaped. So basically, at first, he was a blend of qualities, both good and bad. He was patient, yet hot-tempered, sometimes cunning and even unpleasant. But his defining trait was commitment to fairness and justice. In other words, I believe that this is one of my most important features, that I always wanted to be righteous, helping other people, being kind to other people. And it was not so easy to do in my culture.
Yeah, sure.
It was pretty rough society that I used to live in back in the USSR.
And there wasn't a lot of space for kindness or giving or that sort of warmth that you were hoping for. Yeah.
So basically, this collective character was me. It reflected me, and I reflected that character. And when he didn't, and by the way, he was not developed by me. He was developing unconsciously inside of me, growing together with my wisdom or with my life experiences and stuff like that. Over time, I started to embody this abstract hero in real life, imagining who he could be, what his purpose might look like, and where he might belong. My main character is senior warden for Fish and Game Department in Maine, in the state of Maine.
In Maine, okay.
Yeah, back in '60s. I certainly could make him captain of a big ship or the captain of a passenger airplane.
Sure.
I don't know how it happened.
He just happened to become this particular
Just happened
person.
to become, yes.
Yeah.
Because I had some short story in the past in my childhood when I interacted with one of people like this, and I wasn't a good guy at that time. I was fishing without license. Anyway, that's how the idea started, and I decided, well, what if I give this idea, a certain angle? What if I build this character from what my father was and turn him slowly and gradually into a softer and kinder person, you know, with.
That's beautiful. I really love this idea that we are made so much of the people that we know and the people around us and that we love, that we are those people are part of us.
That's
and
true.
Then that we change over time and we can sort of soften and the edges and make gentle shifts within those people as well. Like those people are part of us and they help influence
One
us.
of the reasons that in my script he is a senior warden for for fish and gaming department is because this is a tough job, and I want him to look as tough as possible and as rude as possible, as a matter of fact, because my father was like, he accepted only black and white, nothing, no gray area. So, and basically, that's how I decided that I can change everything. You know, in the memory of my father, or, you know, just to build a better person. And that was my main goal in the script.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I would love to know some moments from the film that stand out to you, that you think audiences should pay attention to, or that are really big, poignant moments for you as a filmmaker.
In brief, the main character, Kirk LeCroix, he goes on a tour onto the other bank of the bay where he lives, and he finds himself in trouble. His boat is gone. He wakes up on the bank of that bay, and he has been hurt by the poachers. In other words, the only way he can get back to town is to walk around the bay, which is approximately 18 miles.
Oh, wow.
And it would take about 2.5 days through the forest to get there. He meets a colleague who is a tribal ranger. His name is Jack. And Jack tells him about a hunting hut, which is right in the middle, like halfway to town. So that's where he can spend the night, because we're talking about late fall, the beginning of winter. It's already snowing. In other words, he goes into that hut and he finds a baby. And there is no mother anywhere around. So that's the journey that starts, you know, with Kirk and this baby, and he decides to bring this baby to safety. The only safe place where he can bring the baby is to go back to Jack's house.
I see.
To American Indian ranger. This is the only way to save the child. So basically, on the way there, he is confronted by the nature.
Of course.
Huh?
Man versus nature.
Man versus nature, yes. I think so that the discovery of the baby in the snow, this is shocking and poignant scene that hooks up the audience immediately, because this is not like an everyday situation. On top of that, at the beginning, at the very beginning, he didn't know whether he was going to save the baby, because he never dealt with little
totally
babies.
New to him.
It's totally new to him, and he was afraid to take the responsibility.
Sure.
So at the beginning he walks away, but then, I don't know what to call it, high morals or Call of Duty.
This sense in him pulls him back toward the child. Like
and
should
he
do
goes
something.
back and takes the child and takes care of the child and stuff like that. So this was the first moment. Then certainly along the script, the Kirk's internal transformation, when he is rude to the child at first, he is irritated because he doesn't know what to do. He is losing himself. And then slowly and gradually, he becomes attached to this baby and he starts acting fatherly. Moreover, he learns a lot of things as he goes. His way back to Jack was not easy. He was attacked by a pack of wolves. So this is a little piece of the action in the screenplay where he fights wolves and he shoots 2 out of 5. As a knowledgeable hunter, he knows that wolf pack never leaves their members behind. They're revengeful. So he knows that carrying the baby to safety, he's gonna sooner or later face meeting those wolves again. And this is the second moment. The third moment is that crossing the mountain river, fast mountain river, with no bridge. He falls into the water and he's got a choice whether to save his backpack and his rifle or to save the baby,
child.
to bring the child to safety. He brings the child to safety and he's left only with a box of matches in an Indian bag, small Indian medicine bag, and a knife.
Wow.
So, but he chooses to save the baby. He saves the baby, and when he thinks that he's almost near Jack's house, he gets into a bog, and he gets sucked by the bug once again. He saves the child first, and only then, with the help of the knife, which he sticks into the stump, he pulls himself out slowly. But
it's a beautiful image.
Makes it a little bit nervous because we don't know whether he will survive. And he does survive. And then when he's out of the bog, he loses one of his boots. And like I said, this is winter. He's shaking, he's got cramps all over his body, and he's trying to dry his, he makes fire, a couple of fires. He tries to dry himself, make himself workable and movable. And he is almost at Jack's house when he is attacked by 3 wolves. That's where he fights till the very end until he passes out, bitten by wolves. And for some time, the viewers, they don't know what happened to the baby. He meets with mother. The mother of the baby had her reasons to leave the baby because her mother had cancer. She had to take a boat, rowboat, on a daily basis to give medication to her mother. But that particular day, when she didn't show up for her baby, it was because it was stormy. There was no boat that was allowed out in the waters.
Wow.
And this is another character. So, and she is asking Kirk to take her to the place where the wolf attack happened, because she says, I'm an old believer and I want at least to find something to bury, otherwise I won't be able to live with it. Before that, she tried to commit suicide. Kirk saved her, and then at the very end, when he agrees, still being not well, to take her to that spot where wolves attacked him, he says, we cannot go there on our own. We need to go to have a person who will see us off. And he goes to the house of Jack. And when Jack opens the door, the child's mother hears the wailing of her baby. So in other words, it's a happy end. That's
beautiful. What a beautiful story, and thank you for walking us through some of these moments in it.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you, Jenica.
Yeah.
Moreover, I specialize on action adventure.
Yeah.
But this is the first story, which is basically drama adventure.
Yes, and I love, talking about what you said earlier about these pieces of you, these pieces of your father, your mother, and watching this happen also in contrast with the natural world. So you have Kirk out in nature, facing the elements of nature, which is so similar to him facing himself, right? Like as he decides to go back for the baby and decides to grow and protect the baby over just protecting himself and saving this woman down the road. All of those things are very beautiful in the way they're reflected through the film, it sounds.
Yeah. Basically, it turns out like the first part of this script is more about like my father's character.
Yeah.
The second one, it's probably about me.
Yeah.
Because you cannot describe scenes with survival skills if you didn't learn it yourself, if you don't have any experience. And I got lucky in life. I got experience of being a hunter and of being, having survival skills, things like that. Jenica, thank you very much.
Thank you
for interviewing
This is
me.
a great film. I'm so excited for people to see it and tell you what it means to them, because it clearly means a lot to you, so I'm grateful to hear about it.
Well, my favorite baby is called The Duplicate.
That's your other film, right?
That's the other film. I wrote 4 screenplays and 3 screenplays, feature screenplays, and 1 TV screenplay. So far I've got 2 episodes. And I hope that maybe some other time in the nearest future we talk about my other.
Absolutely, we'd love to do that. We'd love to do that. But thank you for sharing this one with us. It was so great to meet you
My
and
pleasure.
be here with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.